I was in my room lost in thought about life, when I suddenly heard the sound of running water in the bathroom. It was my brother-in-law taking a shower. Suddenly my legs started to tingle, and I felt an overwhelming urge to use the bathroom. I had no idea that this simple desire would lead me to something unexpected and somewhat daring when I entered the bathroom. I saw my brother-in-law under the shower, his form emerging from the mist. The thick steam made the bathroom seem almost magical, with the soft light reflecting off the water droplets. I stood there for a moment, my heart pounding instead of leaving. I stayed there watching when he saw me. Our eyes met, and I gave him a mischievous smile. After I left the bathroom, my head was full of strange thoughts. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't help myself. My sister was sleeping in the next room. Oblivious to what was happening, I decided to check if she wasn't going to wake up. So, I climbed the stairs silently and looked into her room. The lights were off and she was sleeping soundly. Her gentle breathing showed that she had no idea. I went back to the living room, and I waited for what felt like an eternity, my thoughts growing more intense with each passing second. The ticking of the clock on the wall seemed to amplify, the tension marking the time. Finally, I heard the bathroom door open and close softly. My brother-in-law had finished his shower. A wave of excitement washed over me as I heard his footsteps in the hallway. When he appeared in the room, still damp and with a smile on his face, I knew something was about to happen. Our eyes met again, and in that moment, I knew that it had all been worth the wait. He moved closer to me, and the tension between us was palpable. I could feel the electricity in the air, as if the room was charged with a tangible energy. Without saying a word, he sat down beside me on the couch. Our movements were hesitant but filled with desire. I leaned in slowly, feeling my heart race. Every move was a mixture of intention and hesitation, as if we were exploring unknown territory. When our lips finally met, it felt like the world around us. We kissed with an incredible intensity, disappearing into each other. Every touch, every caress revealed our hidden desires. We did everything silently, afraid of waking my sister. The fear of being discovered only made the moment more thrilling. Every sound seemed like it could expose our secret, increasing the adrenaline pumping through our veins. After a while, we pulled away slightly and looked into each other's eyes. We shared a smile that said more than words could. We knew that this was just the beginning. There was an unspoken understanding between us, a complicity that needed no words. We rose quickly when we heard a noise from upstairs. He returned to the room with my sister, and I went to the bathroom to take a shower. As I walked down the hallway, I felt a mix of satisfaction and euphoria. The hot water of the shower was comforting. Washing away the tension from my body, I felt each drop of water slide down my skin, as if it were cleansing my confused emotions. And as the water fell, I thought about what had happened. My brother-in-law wasn't just anyone. He was someone close to my sister. What we had done was wrong, but I couldn't bring myself to regret it. I finished my shower and returned to the living room. Each step felt heavy, with the weight of what we had done, but also light with the excitement of the moment. As I entered the room, I saw my brother-in-law, chatting animatedly with my sister. I smiled to myself, seeing how naturally he could act. No one else knew what had happened, and that allowed us. Keeping our secret was like being in a play, each of us perfectly performing our roles. I went up to my room and closed the door softly. I put on my clothes, slowly savoring the memories of what had happened. Each piece of clothing I put on seemed to remind me of what we had shared. After getting dressed, I sat on the edge of the bed, thinking about everything. I returned to the living room, where he was still chatting with my sister. We didn't need words, our silence said it all. Afterward, I went to the kitchen. I prepared something light before bed.
I was relieved that my sister hadn't discovered
anything. The kitchen, normally a place of routine, now felt like a sanctuary, where I could think about my emotions. After I finished, I washed my cup and returned to my room. I got ready for bed, turned off the lights, and lay down under the soft sheets. I closed my eyes with a smile, feeling peaceful and satisfied. My brother-in-law had given me an unforgettable moment. I fell asleep that night, thinking about what would come next. I knew it was risky, but I was willing to take the chance. Whatever the future held, I was ready to face it. Each thought about the future came with the excitement of the unknown and the adrenaline of danger. The next morning, I woke up to the sun shining through the curtains, bringing a new light to the room. Reality began to seep in, bringing a mix of anxiety and anticipation. I went downstairs to the kitchen, where my sister was making breakfast. My brother-in-law was there too, helping her with a casual smile on his face. It seemed like any other morning, but the secret between us made every gesture and word full of meaning as we had coffee. We exchanged quick glances and disguised smiles. Each interaction was a silent reminder of what had happened. The night before the morning routine seemed normal, but inside the feelings were intense. After breakfast, my sister went out to take care of some business, leaving me alone with him. The tension in the air was palpable. I took the opportunity to get closer to him, feeling my heart race again. We were in the kitchen where the sounds of the street and the smell of freshly brewed coffee created a sense of normalcy, but the electricity between us was undeniable. "We need to talk," I whispered, trying to keep my voice steady. He nodded and we went to the living room, where we could speak in private. We sat on the couch, the same one where it all began the night before. The silence between us was heavy, full of unspoken things what happened yesterday. I began, but he interrupted me. "It was real," he said, looking into my eyes with an intensity that made my heart race. "I don't regret it." His words brought a wave of relief and excitement. I knew we were venturing into dangerous territory, but the desire and connection we felt were irresistible. Before we could say anything else, we heard the front door open. My sister was back. We quickly got up, adjusting our expressions to hide what we were feeling. The rest of the day passed in a blur of everyday interactions, but every moment was tinged by our secret. As the days passed, our forbidden relationship became a game of glances, foot of touches and secret meetings. Every moment together was a mixture of fear and euphoria, knowing we were risking everything, but unable to resist the attraction we felt. Finally, on a quiet night, we found a moment to be alone again. We were in the living room, the same place where it all began. The tension between us was unbearable, and we knew we couldn't go on like this forever. "We need to decide what we're going to do," he said, his voice deep and full of emotion. "We can't keep living with this secret." I knew he was right. Our clandestine relationship was becoming unsustainable, and we needed to find a way to deal with it. But at the same time, the thought of losing the connection we had was unbearable. "We'll find a solution," I replied, feeling determination grow within me. "But we need to be honest with ourselves and with others." In that moment, I knew we were about to embark on a difficult and complicated journey, but we were determined to face whatever came next. The future was uncertain, but our connection was strong enough to guide us through whatever challenges lay ahead. In the weeks that followed, our forbidden relationship continued to develop, amidst furtive encounters and stolen moments. Every touch, every glance, every whispered word was charged with emotion and desire. But we knew the situation was unsustainable, and that eventually we would need to face reality. Finally, one night, we sat down to have a serious conversation about our future. We were on the same couch where it all began, with the rain gently tapping against the windows, creating an intimate and secluded atmosphere. "I can't go on like this," he said, his voice low but firm. "I love my partner, but I can't ignore what I feel for you." My heart ached as I heard his words. Reality was knocking at our door, and we needed to make a decision. "I can't keep living this lie either," I replied, struggling to stay calm. "We need to be honest with ourselves and with others, no matter how painful it is." After a long conversation, we decided that honesty was the best way forward. We knew the truth could cause pain and confusion, but we also believed it was the only way to move forward, in a healthy and authentic way. The next day, with heavy hearts, each of us talked to our respective partners. The reactions were varied: shock, anger, sadness. But in the end, The truth was revealed and a new path began to form. The transition wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt, regret and pain, but also moments of clarity. Growth and renewal in the end. We all managed to find a path that, although different from what we had imagined, brought us a new perspective and opportunities to rebuild our lives a few months later. As we walked together through a park, we reflected on the journey we had taken. It was a difficult journey, but it also taught us a lot about ourselves and what truly matters in life, he said, squeezing my hand. It was hard, but it was worth it. I agreed, feeling an inner peace I hadn't felt in a long time. Honesty and the courage to face reality allowed us to rebuild our lives in a more authentic and meaningful way. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more narratives like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment below. Your opinion is very important to us. Remember to turn on the bell to receive notifications whenever we'll be posting a new video soon. Thank you for watching and see you next time.